first to some local news, and today we saw data that should have Labor deeply worried about their chances at the next federal election and rethinking their strategy, particularly when it comes to their obsession with identity politics and gender issues. For months now, we have had saturation coverage of the poor treatment of women, from historic rape allegations to the gender wage gap. We saw the highly politicised March for Justice protests across the country that the media misrepresented as being the view of all women. We were told the coalition were dinosaurs and women would not support them unless they introduced quotas and embraced even more activist demands. Well, the 9 papers, the very much left-leaning Age and the Sydney Morning Herald, commissioned extensive polling on the issues that Australians care about. The research company polled voters on their views on the coalition and Labor on a variety of topics, from women's issues to economic management, and the results are illuminating. Far from being the defining issue that the media would have you believe, only 5% of voters nominate issues such as sexual harassment, assault and gender equity as important in determining their vote, and only 3% listed the issue as most important to them. So what do voters care about? Well, it will come as no surprise that the economy is the top issue, followed by health, aged care, COVID management, then employment issues, social issues, the cost of living, followed by climate change. As the Sydney Morning Herald noted, after 2 months of intense coverage of the alleged rape of former government advisor Brittany Higgins and the rape allegations against Industry Minister Christian Porter, the results suggest many voters see the issue as a problem for all parties. What have we been telling you on this program? The treatment of women and Parliament's toxic culture are not a partisan issue to bash the government with, no matter what the bulk of the media would have you believe. The public have shown again that they are not only smarter, but more nuanced in their assessment of this issue than the media. The 9 Commission poll backs other polls we've seen in showing Scott Morrison as clear leader as preferred Prime Minister. While 86% of coalition voters named Mr Morrison their preferred Prime Minister, only 49% of Labor voters said the same for Mr Albanese. And when it comes to who's best equipped to deal with the issues that voters care about, the coalition is well in front. In economic management, they lead Labor 43 to 21%. In handling COVID, the coalition lead Labor 42 to 20%. In foreign affairs and trade, they lead 37 to 23%. And when it comes to national security and defence, the coalition leads Labor 42 to 19%. On those critical issues, the coalition has significant leads over Anthony Albanese's Labor. Where Labor leads the coalition, it does so narrowly on issues such as climate change. As you can see from this graph coming up, the Labor leads the coalition 24 to 23%, with the undecided vote well in front. The same is true for issues affecting women in society and the workplace, with 27% backing Labor to 21% for the coalition. The majority, 51%, are undecided or backing others. After all that posturing from Labor and their media operatives, that is the best they can do. Let's not forget, this survey was conducted from April 9 to April 15, after months of negative coverage of the coalition's handling of women's issues. I wonder whether the Morrison government would have given in to activist demands and agreed to implement in part or in full all the recommendations of Kate Jenkins' report if it had access to this data 2 weeks ago.